Call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled, Women Do This, Then Get Mad When Men Don't Approach. Let's get right into it.
I stopped approaching women after I went on a date with this girl. Movie, dinner, drinks. I paid for everything. We went back to my crib, touched each other private parts, all on the first link. We scheduled our second date a week later at this event downtown. Day before the event, I come down with a bad fever, so I cancel. She decides to still go. I was bedridden, not in the mood to cook or anything, so I asked if she could drop me off some food. She says, no, I can't. That's girlfriend behavior. So you were cool with me whining and dining you at my expense, sleeping with me on the first date, but dropping off a plate of food that I was going to pay for is where you draw the line? The dating game all messed up. Like, if a woman isn't showing interest first, it's just not gonna happen because I need to know that you actually like me. I stopped approaching women after...
Can you imagine that? The bizarre world we're in right now, okay? Women will sleep with you on the first date, right? We're talking about suck, pluck, gobble your nuts on the first night, but then draw the line at getting you something to eat. Draw the line at making you a sandwich. Draw the line at sending you some Uber Eats. Can you imagine that? He said, just bring me a plate back, okay? We had a date set for the second date. I can't make it. I'm not feeling well. Send me some nurture. And she's like, oh, that's girlfriend privileges. That's girlfriend privileges only. Can you imagine? The things that women think in their mind that make sense, to me, make absolutely no sense. And this is why you got to think to yourself, emotions are not rational. All right, they don't gotta make sense. It just is what it is. This is just how they feel. And I'm not the only one that feels this way. There's a girl that talked about this. Do you guys remember this clip?
Will go out here and let a nigga fuck them raw without putting no ring on it, nothing. But and deal with the consequences afterwards. But you draw the line at making a sandwich for a man. What in the fuck is going on? Making a sandwich. I feel like wrong is wrong and right is right. I feel like these days some women just don't take accountability for just being a good woman. And then you can't follow up saying that you want to be someone's wife, but you don't even know how to be a wife properly. And you don't even want to take the steps in learning how to be a wife properly. But it's just like, I take pride in doing my womanly duties. I feel like a man should never have to tell me to do certain shit that I just already should naturally be doing. Like, that's an embarrassment. The bar isn't...
Yes, that is an embarrassment. Absolutely. It is. And she's about to say the bar is in hell right now. Absolutely is in hell. Now, this video went viral. This guy got 10,000 comments, largely women. And look at some of the comments saying. One comment says, see how you automatically downgrade her once you don't get what you want? That's a girl. Another one says, stay lonely. We don't care. Women, y'all stop taking our lines. That's what we say. Another girl said, you expected to be taken care of after one date. Well, you're taking care of me in the bedroom. You were gobbling my nuts. Another girl said, you should have called your mother. Why would I do that? Anyway, another person says, hope you find your prince. Another last one says, those comments ain't what you expected, huh? No, they're not what we expected. No, we expect women to be better than this, okay? So he made up a follow-up video. Take a look.
A lot of women think it's a bad idea to display kindness to a man they're sleeping with. They value their sexual intimacy below getting a plate of food, which is weird because why are you sleeping with a man that you don't like? My video was about questioning the boundaries of a woman that was comfortable hooking up with me on the first date, but was appalled at the idea of dropping off a plate of food when I was sick from an event that she was already at that I offered to pay for because that's girlfriend behavior. Then what is sex? You don't think it's a backwards mentality to hunch on a man that you wouldn't do a simple favor for? Deflecting to the fact that men also do this is dumb because when did men become the bar for your morality? What sense does it make to mimic the poor behavior of men that you claim to dislike? The lies and fan fiction about me in that comment section is hilarious. Someone said I was entitled and wanted a maid. Others said I didn't have a car. Someone said that I was testing her. Maybe I was just hungry. I don't know. Someone said I didn't crack her good enough, which is also odd because she was begging for more and wanted a relationship. A lot of women...
No, trust me, it had nothing to do with sex. That had nothing to do with how well he put the pipe down. Nothing. Well, I don't know. Okay, he could have been sloppy. But in my personal opinion, if she agreed to a second date, that wasn't the issue. The real issue is their standards are in hell. That's true, okay? Your boundaries are all over the place, okay? You put a boundary that prevents a man from buying a cow, but you let him get the milk for free. How does that make sense? Okay, how does that make sense? Anyway, this video is going viral as well. Take a look.
So go watch Tinks's video. I'll link it below. But what this says is that 45% of men aged 18 to 25 have never asked a woman out in person. All right, hopefully you watched her video, because what she's saying is that that's bad, right? That 45% of men, young men, aren't asking girls out. And what's gonna happen now? What's gonna happen with AI chatbots? The fact that ChatGPT is now going to allow adult content on its platform. Like, that's bad, right? And I listened to a podcast this week with Scott Galloway, pearl clutching over the fact that, oh my God, ChatGPT is now going to be interactive with adult content. And what's so fucking dumb, what's so goddamn stupid about all of this is that the reason boys, young men, 18 to 25, aren't asking women out in the first place is because of the adult content they already consume. This problem is not in the future. This problem is now.
It is right now. You're absolutely right. Let me stop you right there. It is right now. Absolutely. Women, you've made it so difficult to deal with you. We'd rather watch it online. We'd rather watch it on X. We'd rather watch it on Reddit. We got visuals of multiple beautiful women with their clothes off that, by the way, here's the real problem. They look better than you girls do. How y'all gonna let porn stars look better than you? So not only you get unlimited access online, which, by the way, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying it should be this way. It is this way, okay? And the fact that ChatGPT is getting in the game now, which, by the way, you could ask ChatGPT for advice. Now you could ask them for a little bit of help, you know what I'm saying? And I think what's really going on is men are adaptive. Y'all thought we weren't going to adapt to your bad behavior. You're wrong. That's one of the main things men do. We adapt to our conditions. We're resilient. We're anti-fragile. What you throw at us, ultimately, we have the biology to become stronger because of it. And so I salute men that are finding alternate ways, men that are going their own way. Now, the article she's talking about is this. The video she's talking about is this. Take a look.
I was looking at the comments in this post, and there was a lot of comments making light of it, like joking around, like, ooh, men are in their flop era. Like, no, like when I read this, I had a pit in my stomach. This goes beyond like men are in their flop era. We are living through a paradigm shift in society. And when ChatGPT rolls out corn by the end of the year, I think that dating and society will be unrecognizable in a year from now, because there's already so many people who are having full-blown relationships with AI and who are not developing social skills and dating skills and respect for other human beings in the outside real world. Once AI is able to service that aspect of life, relationship, whatever you want to call it, there is going to be no reason for these men who are having full-blown relationships with AI to ever stray from them. And that's really scary. I was looking at the comments.
You know why it's really scary? Because now women, what y'all gonna do? Oh yeah, the price of a JJ has gone way down. Not up, way down. Because we found alternatives. That's the thing you did not want to happen, and now it's happening. You have made men suffer for so long. So many men are suffering because women have become so insufferable, become difficult, hard to date, impossible to deal with. I'm telling you. I see it as a man. I do well with women. I got bitches. You know what I'm saying? I got bitches. And I see the trials and tribulations that men go through, because guess what? It's not easy dealing with women who would use you for a free date, use you as a foodie call, right? Try to guilt and shame you to taking them to high and expensive restaurants, right? Spend $500 on a first date just for them to ghost you, right? Before the second date. This is what's happening. Okay, so shout out to Sex Chat GPT, okay? Shout out to Corn GPT. I'm here for it. I'm probably not going to use it, but I'm here for it. Okay, I want solutions for men. Now, here's a woman, she's kind of detailing the problem, and I agree with her. Take a look. Hey, listen up, Shape Squad. Are you tired of being ignored by women? Well, download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up. It's going to teach you how to master attraction, build unshakable confidence, and win with women without words. Because chances are you're not ugly, you just talk too damn much. So download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up, and take control of your dating life right now. Now let's get right back to the content.
Ladies, we need to stop hating on men. And when I say we, I mean y'all. I see so many conversations about men getting hated on by women all the time, and it needs to stop. Like, if we really want to come together as, a society, this has to stop, because there are good men out there. And if you don't think there are good men out there, I think that says more about who you are and the men that you are attracting. So it's actually time to look within if you don't feel like you're attracting good men.
This is the accountability most women need. This is what they need. Yeah. It says a lot more about who you are attracting, the men that you sleep with. Because remember, women look at their anecdotal experience and they think that it's a general experience. We call this inductive reasoning. When you look at your particular and you try to generalize. And women say, stop generalizing, stop generalizing. What they mean by that is stop starting with the general premise and arriving at a particular conclusion. Because women start with a particular premise and arrive at a general conclusion. The particular premise is all the men that I deal with are this way, therefore all men are this way. That's called inductive reasoning. Look it up. Men, we're deductive reasoners. We start with a general premise and come to a particular conclusion. Okay? Most women are insufferable, therefore we should not approach them. That's called deductive reasoning. So this girl says, look inwards. Look inwards. You might be the problem. I agree with her. They're absolutely the problem. Here's an example of them being a problem. Take a look.
This is just your daily reminder that every man is a loser until proven otherwise. Have a great Monday.
Imagine that. Every man is a loser until proven otherwise. What does that say with her notch count? How high of a body count does she have? Let's take a guess. How many bodies do you think this girl who thinks all men are losers have? Is it 30? Is it 40? Is she above 100? No one knows. I've met women who've lost count. That's how bad it is. I met a girl who was 19 years old and she already had 19 bodies. And you know what she told me? That ain't nothing compared to my friends. That ain't nothing compared to my friends. This world is cooked. And this is why men are not approaching anymore. What do we have to approach this? Imagine approaching a girl who thinks you're a loser until proven otherwise. That you got to convince her you're not a loser. Why am I girl, you got to convince me you're not a 304. You got to convince me you're not for the streets. You got to convince me you're actually worth approaching when I got sex chat GPT. Why would I need you? Okay? Unbelievable. Now, if we're such the losers, then please explain this.
I still have 3 jobs and I am still struggling. Here's why. I do not make $60,000 a year. Not even with 3 jobs. I have a full-time job, a part-time job, and a contract job. And I do not make $60,000 a year. All 3 of those jobs combined, I am not touching $60,000 a year. When you put that into perspective of what the cost of living is like, that is why I have 3 jobs and I'm still struggling. I can pay my bills on time, but can I do much other than that? No. I think someone told me to hustle. If I have 3 jobs, doesn't that mean I'm hustling? Or maybe I'm mistaken. Do you think that I'm afraid of working? I'm not lazy. So I don't like that. I don't like those comments. That rubs me the wrong way.
I just think you are misinformed. You believe you need to do this all by yourself. Lady, clearly you fumbled life. You fumbled life bad as hell. How the hell you working 3 jobs and you're not even making $60K a year? Wow. Wow. You know, here's a better idea. How about you find a man who's making $40K a year instead of trying to find another job? Oh, no, you want to do that because you're going to lose freedom. You already lost your freedom. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you know, what are you doing? Are you living to work or are you working to live? Which one is it? You make just enough money to pay your bills and get back to work. Can you imagine that? What kind of life is that? And you still don't got no man, and you're probably still difficult, and you're probably still masculine. This is all bad for you. I feel for you because you're an attractive woman. I'm not saying you're the hottest woman, but you're an attractive woman. Even though you got someone else's hair on your head, you're still attractive. This is not, none of this makes sense. God did not want this for you. He wanted you to submit to a man for a reason. The average man in America makes $40K a year. That means you could work one job, make $20K a year, and be doing exactly what you're doing now. But guess what? At least you'll have more time. At least you wouldn't be working as hard. At least it wouldn't be all on to you. And then that way, if you do work another job, you make even more money. So let's say you're only making $45,000 a year. You get with a man that's making $45,000 a year. That's $90,000 a year. That's what? More than a 50% increase of what you're probably making right now. And you get protection and you get D, the things I think you still want. Ladies, would you really prefer to work 3 jobs, not make $60K a year, and then cooperate with the average man who could automatically increase your household income by at least $45,000? Like this. Like this. Any man. And if you shoot a little high, you might get a man to make $60K. Now, $100K might be, really punching above your weight class. But $60K, I think that's doable, okay? Even the manager at McDonald's makes more than $60K a year. You know what I'm saying? Go date him. Go date him. Anyway, I thought this video was very interesting as well. Take a look.
Wives and future wives, listen up. A soft wife cannot coexist with a hard mouth. Woo! I had to learn this one for myself, and it's been life-changing. You want peace, but you speaking poison. You want calm in your house, but you're speaking chaos. You want abundance, but you're speaking lack. Let's make it make sense. Your words literally shape the atmosphere of your home and your marriage. We believe our words have power when it comes to everything else. But not our marriage, not our home. Let's be for real. Showing up softer doesn't make you weak. It makes you wise if you want your marriage to last. It's a quiet strength because it says you're able to have your emotions, your words, and your actions under a control that everyone doesn't have. So I encourage you not to look at showing up softer as something that minimizes you. It actually magnifies your position and your purpose in your house.
This lady, bravo. You know what? And that's why she's married. Why do you think she's married? Why do you think a man got a ring on her finger? Because she has wisdom. This is what a Proverbs 31 wife is supposed to be. When she opens up her mouth, wisdom comes out. When she opens up her mouth, wisdom comes out. Okay? She said, how you want a soft life with a hard mouth? How do you want peace, but you speak of poison? Right? And honestly, I agree with her. Softness is wise. And that's why being hard and working 3 jobs and being an independent woman is foolish. It really is. You are not meant